If you've ever lain awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, mentally replaying every conversation you've had since 2014, you're not alone. And here's something that might surprise you. Humans have been fighting this exact battle for thousands of years. Long before sleeping pills, before melatonin gummies, before white noise apps, people were turning to a handful of specific plants to quiet a racing mind and finally get some rest. Some of those plants are now backed by real clinical research. Let's talk about which ones actually hold up.
First, valerian root. If you've spent any time looking into natural sleep remedies, you've probably already run into this one, and for good reason. Valerian has been used since ancient Greece, where physicians prescribed it for restlessness and nervous tension. By the Middle Ages, it had become one of the most widely used herbal sedatives across Europe. So what's actually going on inside this root? Valerian contains compounds that appear to increase levels of GABA in the brain, a neurotransmitter that calms nervous system activity. This is the same general pathway that many prescription sleep medications target, just through a gentler, slower mechanism. Multiple clinical studies have found that valerian root can improve subjective sleep quality and help people fall asleep faster, particularly with consistent use over several weeks, rather than as a one-time fix. One important note, valerian tends to work best as a nightly ritual, rather than an emergency remedy, so don't expect it to knock you out on night one.
Next, passionflower. This one has a very different origin story. Native to the Americas, passionflower was used by indigenous peoples long before European contact, primarily for anxiety and nervous exhaustion. It made its way into European herbal medicine in the 1500s and quickly became a staple for calming an overactive mind. Passionflower appears to work by increasing GABA availability in the brain as well, but through a slightly different mechanism than valerian, which is part of why herbalists have traditionally combined the two. In a notable clinical trial, participants who drank passionflower tea before bed reported significantly better sleep quality than those given a placebo tea, even though there was no measurable difference in total sleep time.
Third on the list is lemon balm. This one has the gentlest reputation of the three, and it's often the starting point for people who want to try herbal sleep support without anything that feels heavy-handed. Lemon balm comes from the mint family and was used throughout the Mediterranean as far back as ancient Rome, where it was steeped in wine to ease anxiety and promote calm. Modern research has found that lemon balm may reduce symptoms of mild anxiety and improve sleep quality, especially when combined with valerian, which several studies have tested directly. In one trial, a valerian and lemon balm combination significantly improved sleep quality in people dealing with mild sleep disturbances, performing noticeably better than either herb taken alone. That combination effect is worth remembering, because in herbal medicine, these plants were almost never used in isolation. They were blended.
So why does any of this work at all? Here's the pattern worth noticing. All three of these herbs, despite coming from completely different regions and completely different medical traditions, seem to converge on the same target in the body, the GABA system, which is essentially your brain's built-in braking mechanism. When GABA activity increases, neural activity slows down, muscles relax, and the mental noise that keeps you awake starts to quiet. Ancient healers obviously didn't know the word GABA, but through centuries of observation, trial, and refinement, they identified the exact plants that influence this exact system. That's not folklore. That's applied pharmacology, discovered the slow way, one restless night at a time.
Now, a few honest caveats. Herbal sleep aids are generally gentler than pharmaceutical options, but gentle doesn't mean risk-free. Valerian, in particular, can interact with certain medications, including sedatives and some antidepressants, and it's not recommended during pregnancy.
If you're dealing with chronic insomnia that's affecting your daily life, that's a conversation worth having with a doctor, not just a shopping list for the health food store. These herbs are best understood as support for occasional sleep struggles, not a replacement for addressing an underlying sleep disorder.